I'm going to be talking you through how to carry the yarn when you're doing a striping pattern where your stripes are fairly narrow. I'm going to be showing you how we carry that yarn up and don't cut the yarn between stripes. We leave everything connected. So in the pattern that we're doing, which is for the stripy sweater, we are going to be doing 2 rows with the contrast color and then 3 rows with the solid background color. So I have done one of those already, and you can see I left the contrast colors connected the whole way up. I didn't cut this at all. I just carried it up along behind me as I was knitting with the 3 rounds with the darker colored blue. And now I finished the 3 rows with the darker color blue, and so I'm ready to start with the light again. So I am going to, and I'm right here at the beginning of my round, I have been knitting all along with my dark blue. So I've been doing this, knitting along with the darker blue. I'm simply going to let go of the darker blue one and pick up the one that I am using. I do want to do this so that I kind of wrap the yarns around each other. That way you don't get sort of long strings of yarn that you can kind of catch your fingers on as you go. So I just want to make sure that when I pick up my light blue, I want to kind of wrap it behind that dark blue, but truly that easily. And now I'm going to start working with my light blue, and I'm just going to leave the dark blue hanging out back there. It's not in my way at all, and I'm just going to begin working with the light blue. And the pattern has us knit 1 full row with the contrast color. If you haven't worked with circular needles before and you're working with circular needles right now, when you get to the end of one circular needle, you lay it down. I always prefer to do a couple of stitches on just the 3 needles, and then pick the circular needle back up again. And so you're simply going to knit all the way around to the beginning with the contrast yarn, leave the blue yarn connected, purl all the way around with the contrast color yarn, leave the blue connected, and then do the exact same thing that I just showed you. Let go of the contrast color yarn and pick up the blue yarn and bring that around with you as you go. And that's how you do your stripes. So this pattern is going to have you do 3 stripes with the contrast before you switch to a new contrast color, and I'm going to be using the green as the next contrast color. So you don't cut the contrast color until you're completely finished using it. So you'll have 1 tail at the beginning, and then you'll have 1 tail at the very end after you finish the 3rd stripe with the contrast. And with the main color yarn, you'll have 1 tail at the very beginning of your piece, and you will not ever cut this yarn until you run out of the first ball and you need another ball, depending on what size you're making.